All right, so today I wanted to talk about this tweet from BitChute's unofficial account saying the mark of an intelligent person is to be able to contemplate ideas without agreeing with them, yet cancel culture attempts to bind people to every conversation had, book read, or video viewed. How can we ever get to the root of the problems if understanding them is verboten? And this is a very good point. I think this is one of the things that completely destroys the cancel culture, usually leftist argument. In that, not to mention, too, like it's a very, very good point in that if you have an opinion about something, right? If you have an opinion or a belief about something in society, it's if you refuse to contemplate ideas that differ from your own, then 99% of the time it's a confession that your ideas are wrong or flawed in some way, right? And that um, about anything, right? About literally anything. Like I use the example of if there was a disagreement between, rural tribes in some rural, completely obscure area, and one area wants to, force the other side to adhere to their ideology and not contemplate any other idea, and the other side just wants to, live and let live. The side that wants to live and let live is going to be right 99% of the time without even knowing what the discussion's about, right? And this is the way that you know that these people are wrong. The reason that they want to censor people is that they don't have a better argument, right? Because if you had a better argument, you would simply make it. So again, wanting to censor other people or shut down free speech or any of this stuff, it's entirely just it's entirely an admission of being completely intellectually just ignorant, like beyond words, right? Completely beyond words. Because and this is the way I know this kind of stuff too, is that whenever I talk to people about things that you just know they're wrong about, like they have these crazy beliefs, everybody knows examples of them. um, you can tell immediately, because most of the time they will refuse to contemplate those ideas. They won't even entertain it, right? And this is why like political debates and discussions tend to go nowhere these days, right? Because you tend to have one side or both sides that just refuse to contemplate uh, other ideas. They just refuse to do it. And again, like that's one of the big reasons why I support having separate countries, right? Separate areas. Not only that, several separate areas, because it's very funny how the same people that they want people to be able to get a divorce, at the snap of a hat, but every people who are on complete opposite ends of the political spectrum should be forced to um, you know be together, right? Like it makes zero sense whatsoever, right? Zero sense that you nobody forces you into marriage, but you are forced into the society you live. And again, it's not as simple as simply just leaving. Number one, because a lot of areas they don't just let you in, and number two, the amount of countries that have actual real rights and freedoms is few and far between these days. So it's not as simple as doing that. Um, which is something that the argument a lot of people like to make. But again, the main point here too is that this is the way people are intelligent too, and even for people that disagree with me, like I'm okay with people disagreeing with me personally, but only under these circumstances, right? Only under these circumstances, because if you can't if you can't do that, then you're just confessing to being a complete zealot. No matter what your beliefs are, you're confessing to being a complete and utter zealot. And again, I don't say that lightly. Like, I really don't say that lightly. And again, I've seen enough of this both in person and online to confidently say that too. Like, it's not something I just, drop out there for no reason. And that the most respectable people are always the ones that can do that. And not to mention, too, you can usually tell the people that have this stuff, usually before even getting into a conversation with them. right? Because again, a lot of people, you can, like, for me personally, like I can tell usually within 5 seconds whether, talking with someone's actually going to be worth it. Because I mean, the easy way to tell too is that whatever topic you're talking about, if the first thing they say is some mainstream media talking point, then you can basically tell right off the bat you're wasting your time, right? um, and like they bring up here too, is that if they can contemplate ideas, without, it doesn't matter whether you agree with them too. This is the argument that the a lot of these people bring up too, and this is one of the justifications for canceling people too. It's, you had Alex Jones on your show, you should be canceled. Well, no, just because you have a conversation with someone doesn't mean that you agree with them, right? Like CNN had on one of the people arrested at the Capitol riots, one of the people that was charged, and yet does anyone support can do any of these people support canceling CNN? Well, no, they don't. Again, so it's very funny how it only goes one way too. The whole cancel culture really only goes one way, and that it's almost exclusively used to cancel right wingers, or specifically people that are anti-establishment, right? And the Me Too, right? Me Too you know, you have all these people that get Me Too'd, but Bill Clinton and even Justin Trudeau, if you want to bring that up, get a complete pass on that, right? Um, if someone, who was it, the guy, his dad was caught on tape saying, it was a NASCAR driver, I believe. His dad was caught on tape saying the N word, right? And that he lost the NASCAR driver lost his sponsorships, right? Even though it wasn't even him that said it, right? But Justin Trudeau can wear blackface multiple times and it's perfectly fine, right? Joe Biden can support the 94 crime bill. Not only that, I believe he's the one that authored it. Kamala Harris can single-handedly throw minorities in prison for drug population, like literally she did that herself. And yet nobody cares, right? Nobody cares. But Donald Trump does something that the Obama administration started, and the Biden administration is keeping going. That being throwing the whole kids in cages thing. But yet it's only bad when Trump does it, right? This is the worst part about cancel culture, is that it's the people we cancel are very selective, right? And the other problem too is that um, the people who support canceling oftentimes find themselves getting canceled later down the road, right? Because this is the mistake people make, is that they think, oh, it's only Alex Jones, right? It's only the crazy people, right? Regardless of whether you think he's crazy or not. But at the end of the day, that's how this kind of stuff always happens, is that they justify it by the whole it's only the crazy people, and then eventually it becomes pretty much everyone, right? So that's the other big issue with that. But again, at the end of the day, intelligent people can contemplate ideas without agreeing. Again, that is the whole point of philosophy, right? The old school definition of philosophy is the lover of wisdom, right? People that love wisdom, right? So not being able to do that, it is entirely a confession of being a complete zealot, right? And this is the main thing I have, the big problem that I have with the left, is that they're worse for this, right? That if you question BLM, it must mean you're a racist. If you question Antifa, it means you're a fascist, right? Even though neither one of those things are true, because again, the goal of BLM isn't racial equality or whatever garbage they want to tell you, and the goal of Antifa is to push a far left ideology, not end fascism, right? So again, at the end of the day, those are just some examples, but it's a very, very important point. And again, I wish more people would understand. Again, the problem obviously being is that public schools and universities and the mainstream media brainwash people so much that a lot of people get the truth beat out of them, and they have no ability to think critically anymore, right? Like, public schools and universities and all this kind of stuff, you could, basically just anti-critical thinking places, right? So anyway, that's what I wanted to bring up today. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like and subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure you check out those links below. Like I said, hit that like and subscribe. follow me on those other platforms. If you want to donate, you could do that as well. Again, I would very much appreciate whatever support I can get. But like I said, at the very least, just hit that like and subscribe and stay tuned for more.